when I stop this one, so when I started actually, you're gonna see I need to initialize it. So here's the server manager is on. Now what I'll do, I'll open the file manager. I'll go this PC. I'll remove the guest edition. I don't actually need it. I'll just eject it here. Now I'll right click on this PC and I'll go, well, I cannot do it this way actually here if you remember. On a server operating system, I need to go manage, tools. I need to find out here computer management. Okay. When I click computer management, the local computer management tool will open. And then I'll go to the disk management, right? And you see now it's finding out that there is a new disk which is supposed to be initialized. And it's asking me what will be the, the booting schema I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose the MBR. I'm not going to choose the GUID partition table. By default, use this one for now. Everybody goes to GPT, obviously. In our labs, do it a little bit simpler. Here it is, and here it is. Now the disk appeared here. You see it at the bottom. And I just right-click. I'll say New Simple Volume. Next. Thus the letter will be assigned automatically. It will be NTFS. Now, see that I could use the REFS, which is the newest. Well, it's not new anymore, but that's specifically designed for servers in Windows. I'm just mentioning to you, this is the kind of newest operating system. It's working with GPT and so on and so forth. So I'll leave it for now on the NTFS, but just to know. And I'll say here that would be deployment. I'll call it. You could call it whatever you want. You could leave it without name. Next, finish. And now it's formatted. Okay, I have now 50 megabyte. If I open again this one, here it is. The disk just appeared. So all of the deployment services and all of these things you could put now on this disk. And that's better to be done this way. Okay, this is how you do it. As we said also, guys, we need to install the DHCP server here, right? And we need to install the WDS. So the DHCP server, add roles and features. Next. Check here the IP address if it corresponds to whatever it is. Then here it is, the DHCP server. You add the feature. You say next. Next again. Next. If you need to restart, yes. And install. Actually, the installation of DHCP server will be very, very fast, guys. Will be really fast. DHCP server is done, guys, as you see. You could click here when you see complete DHCP configuration. You could click on the configuration, just do next. Use whatever it's related with the how they call this, with the related already with the active domain. So you just committed it and do close, and that's all. Now, well, it's not yet all. Actually, you need to. It says here that configuration is needed. So basically what you do, you go tools, you go DHCP here now on the tools, and you choose the DHCP. If you want that to be persistent, right click and pin to the taskbar. Okay. And then basically you open it on the full screen and navigate here, IP version 4, that's what we will do. And right click and do new scope. Okay, on the new scope you say next, you call the scope one. Well, it will be the same which we are at the moment, so I'm going to call it 10.0.20. That's my IP address. I could do description. Start IP address will be 10.0.200 and 10.0.2.250, let's say. That would be my scope, the start IP address and the last IP address. Now the length is not 8, right? The length is 24. So we need to change the subnet mask here. Say next. Well, this is for exclusions. For now, we don't have such, so we're going to skip this part. That's the list duration. We'll leave the default here. Now they're asking, do you want to configure all the other options which are available? We're going to say yes, and we say next. Now this is for the default gateway. If you remember, mine was, you need to check yours. 10.0.2.2, that was mine. And I need to say add to add it here below, right? I'll say next. That's my domain. And the server name, well, let's check what's the server name. I think I haven't checked, I haven't changed it. Yeah, this is this creepy name here. Anyway, I'll use it for now. So I'm gonna local server, just open this one, change, and I'll just gonna copy the, the name. I'm not gonna change it. And I'm gonna put here paste. I'll do resolve, and you see it's finding it out. Okay, I'll say add. Well, it's adding it twice. I'll remove the first one, obviously. I'll say next. This is for Win server, so skip this. I don't need this at the moment. Do you want to activate the scope? So it's to be active right away, right? So if there are clients, they will take the IP address right away. Yes, I want this. I'll say finish. And you see now, when I go to the scope, I have all the options here. If I would like to change them, obviously, I could go and change them from here. That's the address pool. Here's the scope options, which I did latest, the default gateway, the DNS server, and the domain name. So that's all. If I would like to change something, I just do here properties and go and change it. You see it's like checkbox here, the checkboxes. You find out the checkboxes here, the router, and you change whatever you want to change. That's what it is. So if you need to check something else, let's say it could be a time server as well, so you could do it. Name servers and so on and so forth. All of these things you could put here additionally, or change whatever it is. So my DHCP, now it's okay. Okay, I'll close it. And the next thing what I need to do here, guys, is to add the, I added already the disk, if you remember, that's the disk. I added it just to remind you, it's supposed to be shut down the computer, going machine settings. I'll go here to storage and I'll click here on this icon, which is the second icon, which is like a hard drive. And I just go to the same wizard when I was installing the initial disk. And after this, I need to initialize this and to right click and to, once it's initialized and see it here, I could go and create a new simple volume, and that's all. It's just formatted it. And the other thing to remind you guys, it's on server operating system to get to the computer management. Actually, it's from the server manager. Go tools, computer management, and then you're gonna see it. Not like in a client computer, right click and manage. It won't open this. It will not. When I do this, actually, it will open the server manager. So, and then I'm gonna see these deployments, which I call it. That's the addition of this. As you mentioned also, guys, you could create a partition here, but it's good to have a separation from both. If you remember, the guy who was explaining was saying exactly the same thing. So now that's done. You see my DHCP servers there too. And the last thing I need to do is when I go all servers, sorry, to the dashboard here, I'll go add rows and features, next. And I'm gonna add the AWS. I'm gonna add the Windows deployment services. That's the one before the last one. Actually, two before the last. So I just accept the features here. I'll say next. Say next. Well, as we mentioned, we're gonna choose the both options. It won't restart, but just say. And you're gonna install the service. Okay. So it's a service. It's a role. Actually, it's not a service. It's a role on the server. Less than a minute and it has been installed, right? So I'm gonna say close. So I'm gonna go tools and I'm gonna go down and find it here where it says Windows deployment services. And I'll open the deployment service. It's already there. Okay. I could pin it as well. I'll pin it to the taskbar, so to stay here. And when I go to the servers, you see it's not started. Remember, we need to do something. So we need to configure. Right click and do configure the server over the name of the server. It's important to read. When we read this and we see all of these prerequisites are done, that's what we did before. We click next. Now we're going to integrate with the active domain, right? Because we have active domain, it's very easy then in that case to follow everything within the domain. Next. Now, as you remember, we need to change this, and if you remember, I could either go browse and find it, but I could see it here. It is E. So I could come and change the C here. I'm going to say E. And it's called remote install. I'll leave it like this. I'm not going to change the folder. So this is the folder where all the subfolders and all the other things will be created for our deployment. Yeah, it will create now. You just need to say where. And it's very important to say, if you remember, either a partition or better a separate disk as we do. So that's what we do, and we say next. Okay, so it's a good idea, guys, to read what is there. And then you say next on this thing. Now, this is what, if you remember, the Pixie installation. So when the installation starts, you know, it will ask. It says, actually, the server is supposed to respond. The clients will ask for image to be deployed. And basically, we choose here what the server to do. We could say, do not respond to any client. So you could stop, you know, if when you finish your installation, at a certain point, you don't want to install anymore, well, you could go and you could configure this. You could respond only to non-client. If you know specifically, you know these clients, that means their MAC addresses are in your list there, you could find out. And we said we're going to choose the most allowing or, you know, open option, which will be the respond to a client, computers known and unknown. Now, if we would like to go a little bit, you know, to protect ourselves, we could say require administrator's approval. So, but that means somebody needs to click there, right? So we're going to choose this now. So this is wide open at the moment. It accepts everything, okay? And it's for our lot is better, okay? I'll say next. No, the box now, because otherwise you need to go and to approve, kind of, okay? In production, once again, actually what you choose is the second option, which says non-client. Yeah, but here, you know, it's just in the lab we choose the most widely open option. So I'll say finish, and actually that's done. And as he shows, if you remember, it still stops. So I just go here, go task, and I say start, and now it will start. There it is, and it is started. And here the folder switch has been created. So now if I go and open my file manager and go to the deployment and remote install, here all of the things are created now. Now wherever you see boot, actually in images and so on and so forth, there we would need to add all the images. And all of this actually will happen with the image which I downloaded already, which I showed it to you, this one, the Windows 10 image. So basically what I need to do with this one, I need to be able to add it to the, so what I could do, copy it to my desktop actually. Let's try to see if this will work. So as soon as I put my CD and I map it to a virtual CD here on the drive, and as you see, once again, I have my folders here. So what I could do next is to go into deploy the images. So add install image and then boot image. I could do so, right? So I do add install image, right click. You could call it whatever you want, you know, image group 1, you could leave it like this. You could call it Windows 10. I'll say next. Now the file location. The file location, you go wherever you mapped to this. So you go this PC. You go this one, that's the DVD drive F, that's how it has been mapped, you open it, and you need to find it out, and it is, so when you go sources, you have the two images, the boot Vim and the install Vim. So that's the first one, you click on boot Vim, that's what you need to put in the boot image, right? So you say open, and say next. Went to the install image first. Let's do first the boot image. So add boot image once again. We do browse. Here's the boot Vim. We say open. Say next. Now you could change the name, whatever you want, right? So I'm gonna say here Windows. I don't know what's the version. I presume it is Windows 10 Pro. And it will be x64. That's what I'm gonna choose. And actually I could copy and put the same as here. Say next. Say next. And now the image will be taken, the image, and it will be deployed inside. So right. So say now finish when I say this, and my boot image appeared. So it's taking it from the ISO image which I put it here. Once again, I downloaded the Windows 10 image. I put it in the share folder so you guys would take it. Then I put this Windows 10 image in my real machine desktop, and then I just copy and paste it to the virtual machine desktop. And after this, what I did, I just opened File Manager. I went to the desktop wherever it is. This one, I right-click and set Mount. Okay, and as soon as I did Mount, it has been mounted as a DVD drive F. It has been mounted to the system, to the file system. And afterwards, I opened my Windows deployment services. I went to boot image, right-click on the boot image, navigate to wherever the boot.wim stays. By default, it's finding it by itself, and it's appeared here. Now, the same way I will install the install image. I'll come to install image. I'll say add install image. We said that will be Windows 10 Pro x64, and I'll say install. So to know that is my install image, I'll say next. Now the file location is the same file location. I just need to choose the install Vim, right? Instead of the boot Vim, I'll say open. I'll say next. Now these are all the things which I could install here. You see all of these guys. So these are all the boot. Oh well, let's try and let's choose all of them. Let's do next. It will take a little bit of time though. And it might not get all of them because I might not have enough space, but let's at least try. So I'll click finish when it's done, and all the operating system will appear here. Okay, so I see all of this is consist into my Windows image. Okay, so in the boot image, you right click. Actually here, once again, it's not like NDT. NDT does the thing much more refinedly, but you have some tools here as well. Now, for us, we're gonna say AutoCast. We don't wanna. We want to see. You're gonna see it on the movie. Actually, I'm showing with these computers, and I'm doing it. It starts the first one, and afterwards the second one, and then it starts really. So, but we'll do it with only one. We don't need to do this, and we say finish, and that's the multicast. Now the drivers are important part. We need to add the driver group, or actually this will. So when you go to the boot image and you go to Windows 10 here and you do create capture image, okay, you could call here capture. So the location will be the same, I guess. Let me see. We need just to create, actually, we need to create it. I'm gonna call it the same way, and it will be created with the same. Okay, I'm gonna use the same thing just to create. It will be created as such, okay? And I'll say next. Give me just a sec. So I'll say next now, and it will be created. So we put it into the image on the D. Drive into the images, and it will create the Vim image now out of this. Okay, so it is and put it there. I record this again. So okay, so this is done. We need to add the image to the Windows deployment server now. So we created the image, and we need to add it. Don't forget to check this box, right? We'll say finish. Now we need to find out where it is. Yeah, it is there. It is showing me right away where it is. In the Windows deployment server, I'll say this one, and I'll call it again capture. Well, it's the same thing what I did. Actually, I just repeating the. Here I'll say next. Next. Yeah, I'm supposed to say. Yeah, now it's okay. It's adding the image. It's finished. Here it is. That's my capture image. Okay. This is my boot image. This is my capture image. Here, these are all of my install images. Now, if I go to, let's say, 10 education, let's try this one. I could see here the option, or in the, I need first to put the drivers here. So the drivers here, I'm going to open the driver group which I created. Actually, I could do properties, and I could change the name here. I actually could delete it, and I'll start again. I'll say add driver package. Select driver package from an in file, or select driver package from a folder. So what I could do, I would extract this one, which we set there in the Windows System 32 Drive Store file repository. I'll copy this one, and I'll put it on my desktop of my real machine. Okay. So I'm gonna say now browse, and I'm gonna go to my desktop. So this PC, I'll go here to this remote, this one, and this is the file repository. And I'm gonna say OK, say next. And as you see, it's finding out all the packages, right? It's finding all the drivers. And I'm gonna say next here. I'm gonna say next again, and now it will add the drivers here. They failed because, well, there are some things which are not compatible, but nevertheless, 506.5 has been added, so I'll say next. I'll put them a new driver group, and I'm gonna say test driver, because these are really test drivers, you know, I just want to test the image. I'll say next. Well, we need, that was the tricky part, which we said finish. And let's install the drivers. So I cancel the thing before I checked the box. Uncheck it and cancel it. So here all the drivers, they're in the test group. Now, when I go to the install images, okay, the image which I'm going to use, let's say once again Windows 10 Education, I need to install the, I need to inject the drivers now. Let me see the injection. So let's do the thing. We go to the boot image. So this is the capture. We go this one, that's the boot image. Right click and add the driver packages to the image. We say next. And here, what was the tricky part? So this is how it's done. So we'll remove this filter, which actually limits the ones which are shown. So you say remove, then you say search for packages, and it will find out all the packages here. You see 59 packages has been found out of all of the other things. So next, next, and they will be added. So what you do now to the boot image, you add all of this, you inject all of these drivers. So when the boot image starts, the next thing, they will be there. So you're gonna install the Windows image. You're gonna install with the drivers inside. Okay, that's an important thing. So the overall process almost done. We wait this to finish. First are done. I'll say finish. Okay, they're now in the boot image. They have been injected within the boot image. So as we said, everything is done. What we need to do is, I said to you, just need to import. You need to find out where the MSH is, and you need to import it. And here it is. I already imported it here. And I started it. The default password, the username is there. You're gonna see it. The default password, if you remember, I think I told it to you yesterday, is password with capital P. Instead of O, you have 0, and at the end you have exclamation point. So it's password with capital P, exclamation point, and instead of O, 0. That's the default password. You could change it after this, no problem for this. Here it is. It is here. Now, we said if I would like to add a program, which I would like this program afterwards to be there, eventually I could go and download 7-zip, let's say. And I'm going to put just the exe file just to have something on my desktop, okay? Or I could even install it. Let's. Here it is, okay. Well, I'm going to save as, and I'm going to save it on the desktop. So you're going to see the file appearing here, and it's done. Okay, and now I'm just gonna click on this file twice, and I will install it also. So it's a simple program which I install additionally to the operating system. Just would like to see after the capturing, and the other thing I would like to see if it's working. I'll say run. I'll allow. I'll say install. It will be installed in program file 7-zip, right? And it's done. It's already done. So the next thing what I need to do is to go to C drive, this PC, C drive, users, and actually, I'm sorry, not users, Windows, System 32 again. So you could do SY and it will bring you to System 32. And if you're looking for something like sysprep, you do against SY. And you're going to find out here the sysprep. Here it is. It is in C, Windows, System 32, sysprep. Now you start the sysprep as administrator, right click and run as administrator. The other thing now, once again, is to generalize. Okay, you need to generalize this thing. You're gonna generalize, and we said we're gonna shut it down, right? So we're gonna say shut it down. Generalize will remove anything what is not needed. So it will create a environment for this. And we say, okay. Before we started it back, that's why we shut it down. We need to be sure it will start from the network. Okay, so first of all, we need to be sure both of them are on the same network, right? So this is supposed to be on the NAT network, right? So this one is on the NAT network. This one supposed to be on NAT network as well, right? Here it is, NAT network. So they're on the same network. So they will be able to speak to each other, right? So that's the first thing we need to be sure of. Now, the second thing we need to be sure of, and that's very important, on the settings, you need to go to the system here, and you need to put the network to boot from first. Okay, so you need to click check the network, and then with the scroller, while it's chosen like this, you put it on the first place. So now it will boot, and it will look for the Pixie server, and TFTP server, which actually it is all already there. The WDS server, it does this. If we skip this, if it starts from the hard drive or the optical drive, the generalized function which we want to apply, remember when we did the sysprep, will disappear. It will get back to it will be installed. So what I need to do, I need to do it again. So that's why I shut it down the machine, right? I need to be sure it will boot from the network. So let me try now. Here it is. So I want to capture the image, right? So I'll say start. Let's see. Here it is looking now for a DHCP server. It's finding it out, and I need to click F12, right? Well, and that was bound. So when I was able to click on F12, okay, now you see, I see the two images which I created. The first one is the boot image, and the second one is the capture image. So I need now to capture. Okay, I'm not sure because it already started actually. It might be damaged, but that's how it looks, you know. That's why I'm recording it, so you guys to be sure that you know how it will. I need to click inside. You're gonna lose your mouse. If you would like to take your mouse back, it's the right control. The right control will get your mouse out of the screen. Okay, I'll click enter. Here, that's my server, right? You see 10.02.10, and it says where exactly is the file, right? It's finding it. The name of the file, capture.win, right? Okay, that's the wizard. I need to click next. Volume to capture. Well, we're gonna say C. We want the C to be captured. Our created it as a master. I'll say next. Now the name and location. I need to click upload image to a Windows deployment service. That's very important. The server name. So remember the server name. So that's the IP address of my server. I could put it here. I'll say 10. Well, don't forget / / 10.0.2.10. I'm sorry, it's on the bottom. Yeah, / I guess it's the French keyboard now. In a sec. So anyways, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it directly on the Windows 10C. Okay, I'll click here, and I'm just gonna put it here right on the C. Okay, and I'm gonna call this one captured image, Windows 10. And I'm gonna say save here. Yeah, it would be nice if I could. I'll save it locally for now. Say next. And it will, now it's capturing the image and it's saving it locally on the C drive on the same computer. Then it will start. Okay? So it will take a little bit of time. So successful creation of the image. You finish it. Go back to remove the network. And start again. It said that it has finished it, and I actually rebooted it, right? And after the reboot, it started the same wizard. Well, most of the time when you do sysprep and you do the generalized option, actually starts like from the beginning. So, so basically, that's what I need to do. It's very fast, though. I mean, it's not the full. It is not the exactly the full wizard, initial wizard for Windows 10. I'll choose the default here. Say yes. I'll skip everything what I could skip. I will skip. What I need is just to extract the file which is on C drive and to put it on my server. So here it is. When you get this the license, I think you just accepted it. All the questions, I do everything just to speed up the installation. Make it run, I don't want this. And finally, it comes to the end of the installation. Okay, and it is there now. You see, and it is good for 90 days again. Okay, let's see, and also the guest editions there too. So what I need from here once again is what do I have here in C drive? This PC, C drive, this one, the capture image Vim. That's what I need, and I need to put it on my Windows server. And my Windows server, I need to put it here into the deployment in my E drive. Okay, remote install images and Win 10 Pro images there. So I need to put it here. So what I would do, I'll just try to open this one on. So I'll right click here, File Explorer again. I'm gonna say now //192. Oops, I'm sorry, 10.0.2.10. And I'm gonna say E, right? Because we have need because it's hidden outside $, right? Okay. It will ask me, and I need to say the domain, which was housenet, right? I'll say administrator, and I put my super secret password there, and I'm there on the remote install. I'll go to exactly what I'm showing you here, that which was supposed to be this one, remote install images, Win 10 install. So images, here it is, and I just need to copy and paste this one, or cut, doesn't matter. I'm gonna copy and paste it. Record this. So I've chosen the master image. You know, it was, and I used the credentials from the system, if you remember. And it says 60 gigabyte. I'll say no problem. And the installation starts. So basically, when it reboots, you need to stop because it starts the Pixie boot again. And basically, what you need to do is to go to settings and just to get rid of to the system, and to move the network at the bottom and to uncheck it like it was before. So now it's to start. Well, you don't need the floppy as well. Okay, so now it will start on the optical drive booting. We'll see there is no optical drive. We'll go for the next drive, which is the hard drive. And we'll start right away. Here it is. And as I mentioned, we could start and do many like this. Here it is. It's starting. It was an empty It was an empty one, now it has, and when I open it, there will be 7-zip. I'm going through the same wizard like before. That's, I need to create again my account here. No problem. I could actually try to log in with the administrator. I'll try. So we are almost to the end of our journey reinstalling the thing. And if I go and check for 7-zip, here it is. The 7-zip is here. Okay. So that's the test computer, right? This is what it is. It says that's the newest version, but the guest edition, it goes with the initial. So we were able, even with the pre-installed computer, to make an image into the. Now, I'll stop the recording, that's all. So that's how you guys prepare images, how you capture images if you want, and how you deploy images after this. I will demonstrate now with one of the images which we extract from the CD. But I'll stop the movie because it's exactly the same thing. So it's to render. So in